What would you tell somebody who is dealing with a very difficult person, acrimonious, not playing fair? In that moment, they gain that advantage over them or they get their way. How do they kind of make peace with that? Because I know Buddhists would say, learn to forgive, because that would liberate you rather than holding on to the resentment of someone who does you wrong. Does the whole concept of karma, would it give them some sort of comfort that they will get what they deserve or their wrongdoing?
I mean, we feel better because they're going to get their punishment eventually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that? Yeah. I'm not sure that's how we want to deal with it. Before I speak, Rinpoche, did you want to
But I
address
know
that?
people who think like that.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to use your wisdom.
Yeah.
Even though you know somebody wrong doing some things, first of all, are you know the truth in behind his motivation or her motivations? You have to really need investigating to make the conclusion.
Yeah, but
There,
Rinpoche, what if they
no,
cheat? What if they take away your money, your partner? They do something that's
yeah,
really wrong.
yes, but sometimes even though they're wrong, but they think is doing something right. I'm right to do this and this. So that case is always need wisdom to. It's not upset, not rush. That things doesn't have. So you have to first come in yourself, and secondly, you have to be sort of okay. That's the way this person wants. That's his karma. It's not my karma. That's just for sure. Then why you want to be upset? Why you want to be and so but then you sort of I can say something maybe in a face in a just nicely way. You don't want to the kind of anger way, but try to talk to. If you can change, you can do it. If you can't change, then you just like okay, accept that's the person I know. I learned and I have to be careful. That's it. So it's really you see sometimes somebody doing some bad, then we think it's all that bad and upset and things. Then we're about become it's like that person. You see what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
better to not lose our heart and just keep away from that. Be wise to learn something.
Okay.
Yeah. So our job is not to police the world and
Oh,
point
I
out
love that.
all the negative things
I love
that are
that.
happening. There's some
Boy, do
politicians
people
out
need to
there.
hear that, especially in
Yeah.
our
There's
online,
some politicians
the
out there.
world where people feel that they have the right to, express their opinion and they're so dogmatic at times. Oh,
And Chriselle on that list too. So, there's some politicians out there. Well, guess what? We don't agree with them. You don't agree with them. A lot of people, there's a lot of stuff going on. But that's not my job. My job is to create positive karma for myself and hopefully help the world. And if I get upset, angry, annoyed, irritated, jealous, or whatever, because that guy didn't do what I think he should be doing in that position of power, that's just creating negative karma for myself. So, yes, if I can do something about it, like, oh, I'm going to vote for someone else next election, great. Support someone else next election, great. You can do all that. But we don't want to, as Lama says, lose our mind and start going down the world of, oh, or my boss is so negative and sexist and a bully, bullies and this and that, and it's not fair. Yeah, we can recognize that, but you don't want to take that in and perpetuate that negative karma. So it's an opportunity for you, as Lama said, to just settle down. We can do that because we meditate, hopefully more often than not. And if we can change that person, help that person, have compassion for that person. Obviously, they're in pain. Obviously, they're suffering in some way, shape, or form. Obviously, they were not treated well as they grew up this lifetime. You can focus on those things. It doesn't change, may or may not help them, but we need to have a better control over where we put our mind.
So what I'm hearing is come from a place of compassion, take the higher road when you're dealing with.
Absolutely. If you can, it's not that easy because we're
I
so
know.
angry about why
Yeah.
they're doing something. But yeah, you want to try to create and develop that, not because it's just some kind of made up thing to trick our mind. It's because that's the truth. The truth of the matter is when people do bad things, there's a reason behind it. And it could be from this lifetime, could be domestic abuse, sexual abuse, other kind of psychological abuse from this lifetime, previous life. Who knows? Don't know. But having that don't know attitude will help because always walking around, hey, that person was bad, that person they did it. It's like now all of a sudden it's more about you and you're just creating more and more negative karma.
And you feel
Yeah,
that in your
there's
body. You feel that in your body when you're doing that, when you're criticizing, when you feel like you can just judge everybody and everyone's actions. It feels very
yeah.
heavy.
So there's a simple way is, and I always say be wise and calm. And something really bothers you, don't like, then that's not you. You have to be keep away from those kind of people, first of all. Or you can learn and study, like, wow, I want to be that. What is wrong with this person? And sometimes maybe you learn a lot of things too. Maybe this person go through all difficulties and things. Then you like, wow, I learned so much. This person this way because their cause and so on, so on, and so on. Or now also you have to have compassion because some people are so ignored and selfish and self-centered and so negative. That people need more love and compassion for sure. So we have to look at which level we can go and go with that level because you just don't, and you can't deal, then why you just facing that, just live away from that situation, moving away. Or just like you, oh, I'm going to learn and study these kind of people, and you can so much become wise in the learning. Or you can see this person are definitely that kind of people, a lot of problems in maybe in the home, their life, early children, when they're young, they go through different things and then the motivation changes. So you're like, oh, wow, I don't want to be that way. A compassion for this person and the similar people in the world. So there's a wise way to work with our mind and our thinking.
I love that. So far, we've been talking a lot about individual karma, but I also want to talk about collective karma. And I know you cover that quite a bit in your book. You say we are living in a pretty divisive, turbulent time. And what does karma have to do with that? You say that we are all part of the problem, but we can also be part of the solution. Can you say more about that?
As I say, is right now we are dealing with the karma of the world, the karma of the country, the karma of the weather where you live. Each state is different in like US. So, and there is a far away is thousands of years connections this way. They have to go through this kind of situations. So, this karma is a very rich and very deep. So, and this kind of times doesn't matter where you live, where you are. Is also there's a very good things happening too, but we always connected with the bad things because of the news. Always they talk about negatives, like
Oh,
two bodies, like right side news or left side news. So America, there's two ways, and they all like blame each other, negative each other. But if you begin to connected with the positive side, the energy. It's like, for example, like this country is a great country. America is, we are blessed to live in this country. Think about how many breads, how many food, how many choices we have. Another countries, some only don't have good water. So I grew up in the communist region in China. So I know what's like there. And you grow up and hear somebody complain, I'm just laughing. So of course there's a long as a samsara, long as a human beings, there's a good and a bad. But what I'm saying here is we need this connected with the more positive side. Look at the positive side, because we humans always looking for negative side. That's why always we get negative. One time, this great teacher, he gives a piece of paper to the other class and has a little dot. And his teacher said, just write about this piece of paper. What you see, this paper. All the students wrote the little dot, say, oh, this dot, on this dot. And the teacher says, this piece of paper is 1,000 times. He said, in this little dots is just still small, but you only look at the dots. That means you always look at the negative. You should begin to look at the white paper and you should write something, the regular the paper. So what I'm saying here is we begin to be positive and really enjoying the every moment of life. That's very important.